Okay, great. So I just want to I'm dealing with your complaint essentially. I just wanted to get a bit more information in relation to it and make sure I've got the actual complaint itself correct, if that's okay with yourself. So from what I can see, an officer who's come out to see you in relation to an harassment, is that right?
Yeah.
Reference YouTube. So is this particular officer, did they go out to speak to you about videos that you've put on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay, what have they?
It's all because of YouTube, though it's going on. I've got a channel, and the 3 people that made the complaint against me are all part of another channel.
Okay. So just to kind of strip this back to basics, this YouTube channel that you've got, what's that in reference to?
It's just because I deal with the authorities based on a lot of activity on YouTube that I've witnessed.
When you say you deal with what do you mean?
Not
in
a professional, in a personal capacity. With there's a lot of criminals on YouTube, so a lot of bad stuff going on.
Right.
So rather than
what does your channel do specifically?
Just highlight some of the other channels, reviews, what's going on.
Give me an example of what sort of things you're highlighting and how.
Well, one of the examples that I've done in the past was there's a sex offender at large in the Philippines on YouTube every day, grooming, basically isolating a Filipino woman, telling her that he's going to bring her back to the UK and marry her.
Right. So he's posting videos on YouTube.
Yeah, he was going live every day with her, feeding her diazepam tablets.
And your channel highlights that and comments on this sex offender.
I contacted the UK embassy while he was there and alerted them to him, and he ended up getting deported. So that's the sort of thing I do. My channel is just publishing the results, if you like, while it's ongoing.
Okay. So reference the complaint that you're referring to. What have the officers come out to see you about?
Right.
What are they saying that you've done?
2 of the 3 women apparently. So the night that the officer came out, I only actually heard about the first two complaints, which were letters. Emails that I sent to the employers. One of a mental health lead working for the ambulance service.
Is this an incident on the 26th of May?
I couldn't tell you the dates off the top of my head, to be honest.
Because the difficulty is obviously I'm looking into it and there's quite a lot of crime reports, but the most recent one I can see is the 26th of May, and that was an Officer Harris that spoke to you.
Yeah, that's
Is that the one you were referring to?
Yeah, that's the only officer that I've spoke to is PC Harris, so I don't know.
Okay.
So it was only when I spoke to his sergeant, who's obviously...
do you know who the sergeant was at all?
Shazab, I think.
Shazab. Okay.
Explained to me, obviously, the policies that they've got because of the 3 complaints coming in. They have a duty. I understand all that you've got a duty to investigate it. But it was only yesterday that I discovered that I've actually been accused of having nude photos of one of these women, which has absolutely sickened me.
So who mentioned that to you?
The sergeant that spoke, PC Harris's sergeant that called me yesterday.
He called you?
Yeah. Well, he's also because when I got the response from my email complaint, I was given your name and that sergeant's name as that was dealing with it.
Okay.
So he spoke to me already and obviously explained that nothing, but from my point of view, it's...
So just to clarify, the sergeant making the phone call to you, did he say you've got nude videos of the suspect, or did he say that's what they've accused you of?
The complaint was that I had nude photos of Rachel Harrison. Right. So I haven't got anything of the sort, or wouldn't want anything of the sort. But it's just the nature of that complaint that concerns me.
So, okay. So in reference to the West Midlands police side of it, the complaint, what is it what is the complaint against us? Because obviously the nude photos, from what you're telling me, is what the suspect has said you've done, which essentially isn't something we're accusing you of. It's something the alleged victim is accusing you of. So from a West Midlands police side of it, what are you unhappy with?
From that aspect, then my concern with the officer was that when I said that I'd got counter allegations, he wouldn't listen to me at all.
Okay, so is this PC Harris you're referring to? Okay, so when did you mention to him that there's counter allegations?
Well, as soon as he came and said to me what it was about.
So when was that roughly? Just specifically, what date would you say that was?
Oh gosh, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and what did he come to your home?
He came to my house, yeah. I went outside to speak to him because I've got a big dog and I've got kids in the house.
Because I know officers, sorry to interrupt, it's just because I'm trying to piece it together while I'm on the phone with you. So I know that the Officer Harris, I think he visited you. There was an update on the report to say it was around about the 2nd or the 4th of July. Does that sound about right, a couple of weeks ago?
That's it.
Okay. And then you told him, whilst he was speaking to you in your home, about you have counter allegations that they've done X, Y, Z to yourself?
In my front garden, yeah.
Okay, and what did you specifically say the counter allegations were? What have they?
Well, he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't even listen to me. He was basically saying that he was there because of their complaints and that he was. Okay. So obviously,
he didn't take on board what your counter allegations were and didn't ask you about them.
No, we basically said my options were to agree not to write any more emails to employers, which I had no intention of doing.
Okay.
But I don't think he's got any right to tell me that, or go in for a voluntary interview, which I know from my previous experience that my evidence wouldn't be looked at then either. So he did say, he said, I don't want to spend hours reading through transcripts. Is what he said. When I spoke to the solicitor after, he said, well, that's his job.
Well, in reference to the counter allegations, and maybe it could have been explained to you a little bit better, granted, is that essentially if someone's made a report against yourself, which from the sounds of it, that's happened, and then you've said, well, I have a counter allegation in relation to the same report, we have to deal with the investigation we have ongoing at that time, and then what would usually happen is we would need to record the counter allegations you're talking about, and that would be dealt with once the investigation we're actually dealing with has been dealt with, if that makes sense, because otherwise it would get quite confusing.
Because
I understand that. Sorry, I don't mean to be difficult. I just want to explain it to you. I just want to explain the last.
That's what I mean, and I did I said, well, I'll phone 101 and make a fresh complaint then. Now you've got that, because
so
I haven't got.
Can I just stop you, because I just want to clarify something with you. So, in relation to what you were being investigated for, because I can see in the system it appears that it's now been dealt with as such. Have you been advised it's now been dealt with, or what have you been advised of?
Just basically that was the end of it, as long as I agreed.
Okay, so you've been told it's been dealt with. Okay. Yeah. So essentially what we need to do then, and apologies, correct me if I'm wrong, is I need to contact the officer and say, did you have a report of these counter allegations and the fact that they need to be recorded? Correct me if I'm wrong, would that be fair enough to say?
That would be, yeah. Okay. That's exactly.
Can you tell me the counter allegations so I can obviously pop it down if you don't mind?
Well,
so what did you mention?
Rachel Harrison. She's the moderator of the channel. It's called there's a few different channels.
Another YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a few different channels that they're involved in.
What, you do the same thing?
Well, no, I've only got about 200 subscribers. They've got about 3,000. So,
what does her YouTube channel do then?
Well, they were reporting on the same sex offender as I was, but they were making up disgusting things, saying he was sleeping with his sister. So I had a bit of a problem saying it's bad enough. The facts are bad enough. You don't really. It's just sort of discrediting my work when you're putting out misinformation. And from then, she inboxed me, calling me, saying
when you say she inboxed you,
on
do you
my
mean
private.
she emailed you or messaged you? Or?
She sent me because obviously this was through YouTube or the channel, but she messaged me through my private Facebook account, which I haven't got anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I've got screenshots. I haven't got my account now, but I've got the screenshots. Obsessing about people on YouTube all day, which is what she does mainly. You know, my channel does a little thing. I've got kids here and I've got a dog. I can't remember the story. It was pretty abusive anyway. So I sent a reply, which wasn't. I told her to go and set herself on the But you know, she's the one that started spreading rumours saying that I was helping the sex offender, that I helped to get deported. Just to and that's sort of a dangerous thing, really. In group chats, I've got the emails from her saying, if you've got a problem with that, go to such and such, who's a bad criminal as well. Yeah. So that was in March, and then because I know other people that are in group chats with her, and they were telling me that she's been sending indecent. This is probably where the nude photo thing comes in. She's been sending indecent images of herself around these group chats. So I have alluded to the fact that I know they exist. I haven't got them. Rachel, yeah. Why would she send nude images? Well, I don't understand it myself, but that's something you'd have to ask her. But she's got 7 children, and you know, this is the woman she sits on lives with on the channel, smoking a spliff, drinking Southern Comfort neat from the bottle. Like, this will be on a Sunday night. She's got 7 kids in there to get to school the next morning. I can't, because I don't know her address. You don't have to have an address, but you've got details for her, obviously, from what you're saying, she's reported you in the past, so we have, or they would have. That's what I said to PC Harris. No, yeah. And you're saying there's a vulnerability there's concern to the children, then definitely report that, because obviously it needs looking into. To social services or child services? To us. We would go out and we would do what we call it a safe and well at the address to make sure that the kids are okay. If you're telling, from what you're telling me, you're saying that some of the videos she's uploading of her drinking large amounts of alcohol, smoking drugs in front of the children. You're telling me she's doing that in front of the children, and you can confirm in relation to the videos that the kids are there. So essentially, she's drinking large amounts of alcohol and drugs while the kids are there. Then obviously we would be going out to the address to make sure that the kids are okay. Well, how do I do that? Because we've got a duty of care to those kids. Obviously, if she's doing things like that. Of course. Well, this is what I'm concerned. And we could probably do with having a look at the videos that you're talking about. I appreciate they may have been deleted by now, but the videos that you're referring to, obviously, if she posted anything like that again, then obviously we do need to look at that. Because one, the videos will be evidence for us, and two, obviously it will give us enough to go out there and make sure that the kids are okay. Yeah, okay. So, in relation to these allegations, and essentially, because I don't want to put words in your mouth, essentially what you want is for your counter allegations to be recorded, and then obviously I don't know what the outcome of it will be. I guess it would be she would be spoken to if you have obviously the messages in just with regards to her behaviour. Yeah. Would you be happy with that as an outcome to your complaint, or would you like to go down a different route with it, or? No, I really didn't. You know, I would have, if I needed to, I would take it all the way, but I really don't want to. I haven't got the energy for it, to be fair. But,
Yeah.
I didn't, this has come completely out of the blue for me, and it was a bit of a shock, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was
Okay.
just like
So
thinking,
the
what
next
can I
thing
do?
I'll do
But
then,
these sort of allegations I don't want on my file in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? It's disgusting.
yeah, yeah. The next thing I'll do then is email Officer Harris and just obviously just ask him the question about these counter allegations and just advise them that they need to be recorded, and deal with it from there. And then once I have, I can it may be a case officers might have to speak to you over the phone to get a statement in relation to your counter allegation. And then I will contact you or possibly email you maybe just to make you aware of what the new incident number is or the crime number is. And then if you're happy for me to do so, I'll file off the complaint from there. Is that okay with yourself? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. If there's anything you need in the meantime, I think you've got my number anyway, so by all means give us a call. But I'll get onto that as soon as I come off the phone to yourself.
Oh, brilliant.
And we'll take it from there,
sure.
okay?
And I'll start piling together my evidence as well for the counter
As I
allegation.
say, if you really do have concerns for these children, obviously because of the content that she's uploading about her drinking large amounts of alcohol, by all means call us, because obviously we need to look into that. We need to make sure the kids are safe. So yeah, by all means, report it to us. All right.
All right, then. That's great.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank
Take care
you.
of yourself.
Bye.
Bye.